Good people of YouTube, I'm the Watch Idiot, and a few days ago, Omega released an all-new Seamaster Planet Ocean for its 20th anniversary. And on one hand, I am absolutely loving this release, but on the other hand, I hate one detail of it, and I'm pretty sure many of you can guess what it is. It's the bracelet with those stupid polished center links, but I do think that I have a solution for that and for everyone who thinks that the case looks a little bit too integrated-y. And even still, I think that this release is one of the very best from Omega because they fixed so many things here. So in this video, now that I've had some time to think about the watch a little bit more, I'm gonna go over what this watch is all about, why I think it's such a significant watch release, the dial, case, bracelet, etc. And I'll also talk about whether or not I'll buy one because there's a lot here that gives me pause, but I also wish that I could just buy one right now. Or should I just wait for a smaller Seamaster? Who knows? Oh, and also my watch giveaway is still going on. It's for this here Seiko SSB 479 chronograph. So check out my last video if you want to enter it. Anyways, let's get into it. So 2025 is the 20th anniversary of the Planet Ocean, which is actually a significant anniversary, unlike so many other ones that Omega, Grand Seiko, and Seiko uses. But anyways, because of that, we get a truly new Planet Ocean because it looks quite different from the rest of the Planet Oceans. And overall, I think it's an incredible watch because it's an incredible watch and because it's just so nice to see a watch brand actually update a watch in their lineup in a meaningful way. Let's be clear, I loved the look of it before. I would have been extremely happy if they just made it thinner and smaller, but they managed to keep the essence of the watch mainly through the dial and bezel while truly offering a new experience. And I respect Omega for taking a chance like this because it doesn't happen very much in the watch world. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't remember any. That said, I think that some of the hate for this watch is because it feels so different from the replaced Planet Oceans. If this was its own Planet Ocean line or something like that, I'm pretty sure that there would be more love for this because Omega has addressed a bunch of complaints that people have had over the years, namely the case size, the helium escape valve, and the insane thickness of the previous generation. Because now we've got a Planet Ocean that is 42 millimeters instead of 43.5 millimeters, and the lug to lug is down to 47.5 millimeters from 49 millimeters. And this is a big one. The thickness is down to 13.79 millimeters from 16.09 millimeters. That is just gonna make such a big difference in terms of wearability. And this crazy thickness is the main reason why I really never got around to getting a Planet Ocean, why I instead have gotten quite a few Seamaster Professionals. But now it seems all is well. They reduced these dimensions all while keeping the 600-meter water resistance, which is cool, even if I don't really care about water resistance. But what is cool is that in order to do so, they put in a titanium ring inside to help the case take on the load of 600 meters at this thickness. And this is something that they learned from their Ultra Deeps. So it's really cool to actually see tech from these Halo insane watches come down to a human level for human watches. So now that the Planet Ocean has taken that 42 millimeter slot within Omega's diver lineup, I think that we might be looking at a smaller, thinner Seamaster Professional, and that's why I'm so excited about this release. I think the time is coming, maybe next year or the year afterwards. That said, fingers crossed that they don't change it too much, so maybe I'm being hypocritical about that, but oh well. And now let's get into the details of this all new case. And I am in love with this case, but before we do that, the big news here is that the helium escape valve is now officially gone. So that will undoubtedly make many people happy, especially given how many people complain about it constantly. So in general, I love an angular case with sweeping curves like the 44GS case from Grand Seiko. I love pointy facets, especially like on my Spirit Zulu time. And I also love beautiful polished bevels on the case. And I love Omega's brushed finish, and I've got all four of these things in this case. So what more could I possibly ask for? I mean, other than the 20 millimeter lug width, because this one is 21 millimeters, but you can't win everything, I guess, right? Every single time I look at the case sides of this Planet Ocean, I'm just in awe, especially that flat facet right at the end of the lug. I mean, the moment I saw this angle, my wallet knew that it was in grave danger. I cannot wait to see this thing in person. I think it's gonna be so much better than in the photos. Initially, I felt it was a bit pro-profy, which is great for me because I always love that watch, but now it's giving me strong Marine Master 300 vibes, mainly because of the overall dial and bezel proportions, but also because of the big bevel on the top of the case. And I sold my Seamaster 300 a while ago and I've been missing it, so maybe this is kind of a way to get it back. And that dial to bezel proportion is one of the design changes made here because the dial is smaller and the bezel is bigger now, which some won't like, but I really enjoy. And that's because these proportions on a 42mm case will make it wear a bit smaller than 42mm, at least visually. And that's kind of like my 44mm Seamaster 300, which looked smaller than most of my 42mm watches, although I don't think that those proportions are quite as extreme as the Seamaster 300, but we'll see. The good thing is that I think this will make the watch more wearable on more wrist sizes while not feeling tiny, because these proportions are also on hardcore tool dive watches. So I actually think that I was going to wear smaller than my Seamaster 42 here, especially because of the lug-to-lug being way shorter. And now going to the case back, it's a solid brushed titanium case back to make the watch weigh a bit less and make it thinner. And there's no getting around the fact that it is very simple, and sure, it could have been done up a little bit more, but for me, I'm all for a fully flat brushed case back because I find it much more comfortable on my wrist, so no complaints from me at least. And as it turns out, the weight actually has gone down considerably. This one, according to Omega, comes in at 177 grams total, which is really great. A lot of my Seikos are roughly this weight as well. And that's compared to the old one, which was 214 grams, which is undoubtedly heavy in any regard. So everything put together, I think that this Planet Ocean can be the smaller wearing Omega dive watch that I've been wanting. I mean, but what a bizarre sentence that is. I mean, who'd have thought I would ever say that? Next up, the Dial and Bezel, and while there have been some changes like I talked about in the last section, this is where they kept the essence of the Planet Ocean, because when I first saw the watch, I instantly knew it was a Planet Ocean, mainly because of the numerals. The numerals thankfully haven't changed too much. I actually didn't notice that these 6 and 9 are now open. They've got a slightly boxier look to them, I guess to make it a little bit more modern. Either way, I'm a big fan. And also my favorite blue bezel version has white 12369, while the black dial has silver 12369 and the orange has the classic orange numerals. So as it turns out, the blue bezel version is more contrasty, and that's helped by the fact that this has a flat crystal. I love flat crystal, so that plus getting Omega's awesome anti-reflective coatings, this thing is gonna absolutely vanish. The crystal, I mean. Again, can't wait to see it in person. And since it's got the 8912 movement, we don't have a date, which means that we can actually get the full set of 12369, unlike the old Planet Ocean, since the 3 o'clock date window took out one of just 4 numerals, and I thought it was just terrible. I mean, it's another big reason why I never got one. Going on, the 8912 has an independently adjustable hour hand, which is useful because it makes daylight saving time changes a little bit easier and then travel easier. And since it doesn't have a date, which is really big, that means that you don't have to wind the crown like 100 times just to get it to the date that you want to get it to. So yeah, love that, love that. So it is looking very, very promising for the blue bezel variant. I mean, almost perfect. Time to buy, right? But then we have the bracelet, and this is where all the issues come in. The biggest issue being the polished center links, which is something I don't like in almost any watch out there, but to see it here on one of Omega's more intense tool divers is just mystifying, considering that the Seamaster Pro and then also the 300 are available as the sort of, I guess, less intense dive watch options. This is what broke me. I would have been ready to buy if it wasn't for this, because on the wrist it will look very, very blingy, and I don't want to spend money on the bracelet version just to not wear the bracelet version, considering that is going to be very, very comfortable most likely, and it's got an on-the-fly clasp. And the rubber strap version looks really good, but I'm not a fan of rubber straps with end links, and also I really hate deployment clasps on straps too. They never feel right on my wrist, especially this awful low-tech version. They really should have come up with a new clasp for this rubber strap, or made the clasp on the bracelet work with the rubber strap too, which it should be pretty simple, all things considered. Other brands do it. That said, it is possible to get the center links professionally brushed. I was super close to doing that with my Black Bay 41 before I sold it, so that is making me feel a bit better, but still, that is an extra expenditure, and there, I guess, will be question marks in terms of warranty, although if you just send in the watch head, there really shouldn't be any issues there. So at this point, I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards buying, but this was hard. Anyways, onwards to the design of the bracelet. It looks like it's got a integrated bracelet, which would have made sense because there have been Seamasters with integrated bracelets. But nevertheless, that would have worried the hell out of me because I think that that would have been a big step backwards because it wouldn't work on any straps out there. But no, it's just got 21mm lugs, so I guess I can forgive it since that's better than having a completely integrated bracelet. But in general, though, I think it's really cool that they managed to make this watch really look like it had an integrated bracelet while it not actually having an integrated bracelet. That's kind of hard to do. And I know that people have an issue with this looking integrated, which I do get, but I'm 99% sure that it'll look much more normal in person and when it's on a regular strap because the lugs here are chunky and they aren't hooded or super short, so there is a chance that this will work out and the case design will be a bit more muted, so I'll definitely have to try it on a strap before buying it. And finally, the clasp from the outside, it's awesome. It's a design I haven't seen before, and it's got an on-the-fly micro adjustment, and it's also got a wetsuit extension, which I guess is useful. So bravo, Omega, but it is completely polished, which is very irritating for such a technical clasp, and obviously because I don't like that much polishing. And on top of that, from what I can see in the photos, the clasp looks super thick and also apparently is very long too, so I just don't understand why Omega can't make a small, relatively thin clasp with these features. I mean, the Tudor Pelagos clasp is still, to this day, the best overall clasp on the market, and it came out like a decade ago. So there you have it. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this new Planet Ocean, and until the next video, good day.